Now I will call Ardania Meilaningrum from Diponegoro University to present the paper. For Ardania, please. Bu Ardania from Diponegoro University is in here. Okay, based on the information that Bu Ardania has the video for the presentation, we will wait a little moment for. Okay, Ibu Ardania, are you ready to present your paper? So after the Bu Ardania, the session of ergonomic and human factor will be finished. And then in this room, we will continue with the topic of production and operation management. Ibu Ardania? Okay. Bu Ardania, you can share the slide, please. Still have trouble with the sharing screen? The next presenter will present motorcyclists' attitude and perception from their gender point of view. Will be presented by Ibu Ardania, Manik Mahachandra, and Naniek Utami Handayani from Diponegoro University. Okay, because we have trouble with Ibu Ardania, so we will play the video from Ibu Ardania presentation.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this opportunity, I would like to present my presentation, which is talking about motorcycles' attitude and perception from the original point of view. So here is the outline. First part, we will talk about introduction. In the second part, we will talk about method. And last but not least, we will be talk about result and discussion. So here's the introduction. As long as we know that Indonesia has around 230,000 million population for Indonesian people, and it can be a serious problem because we can know that road accident become a very serious problem too in Indonesia. So after that, we know that motorcycle is the most owned vehicle by Indonesian people. And finally, become the most traffic accident cases, and will continue then, and motorcycle rider become the most risky means of transportation, and last, finally, when it becomes the main contributor to traffic accident. And here is the questions. Why finally motorcycle become the main contributor to traffic accident? It can be seen by the size of motorcycle was medium and not too large, so it can be the most effective vehicles to unravel traffic jam, especially in our capital city, Jakarta. So, and we know that the cost was definitely quite cheap for people who want to buy a motorcycle. So we found some evidence from Joseph at 2017 literature that showed 250,000 deaths on Indonesian roads from 2004 to 2014. And characteristic in relation to traffic accident causation. One of them are age, gender, familiarity, knowledge, prayer, driving habits, and tendency to risk behavior. But show has that all 2020 has shown that the typical risk factor for female genders are panic reaction. Comparing with the male gender, it has been common in male genders, but in misstatement of the road causes traffic accident, males are dominant in these factors, and in intention, it's associated by female gender. So this methodology of this research is quantitative data by distributing questionnaire, which is consists of 12 questions. It divided into two parts that attribute variable from 1 until 7 include two perception variable, and attribute variable from 8 until 12 includes attitude variable. So here is it. We are using instrument variable scores: 1 strongly agree, 2 agree, 3 hesitation, 4 disagree, and 5 strongly disagree. So the aim of this topic presentation was to know the response of the factors who contribute to traffic accidents, such as attitude and perception variable, which can relate it to gender variables. So here's the table that make clear of each variable, like attitude consists of two criteria, which is not good and good, and perception. For perception has two criteria, consists of not important and important, and also for gender, using two criteria, male and female, with their own scala. We know that after we continue with statistical analysis, and then we using multivariate analysis using correspondence analysis, because we think that correspondence analysis can map or can illustrate the tendency of the factors which can relate it to the attribute variables, also especially for gender. So the first statistical analysis is we have to know the relation between perception and attitude, perception and attitude variable. The second, we have to know the relation between gender and perception variables. And the third, we have to know the relation between gender and perception variables. And the last result, final result for chi-square test, there is no relationship between perception and attitude. There is no relation between general perception phenomenon. There is also no relationship between general and perception variable. So this then makes the continued analysis of correspondence by no longer comparing the classification of each perception and attitude with genre, but comparing with mixed factors in the perception and attitude variable, so that they can be compared with correspondence analysis. So here's the perceptual map from correspondence analysis result. We can see that it can be divided into two groups, which the first group is the group whose majority of attribute variable are close to each other to the female gender, and the second group is the group whose majority of attribute variable are close to each other and male are with male gender. So for the group 1, consists of number 7, number about the basic condition of creator, number 1, number 8, number 6, number 10, number 2, and number 12. We found that this is about which related with this condition 10 to number 10 about technology access opportunities in driving in Amman and in Saudi Arabia, found that 75.9% using cell phone while driving become the causes of traffic accident, mostly made by female gender. And for group 2, causes of number 4, number 9, number 5, number 3, and number 11, we found that the research related with this, our finding is number 3 about completeness in driving. So actually males are more likely to pay or to provide important attention to the roles, because with his status of responsibility as the nature of the leader in the home environment. You can relate why number 3, the attribute number 3 are close to male gender variables. Okay, we will talk about result and discussion. However, it cannot be denied that motorbike drivers are a contributor to more casualties than female. In Serbia, the number of male deaths from traffic accidents is 3 times greater than that of female. Saudi Arabia also provided that an average of 17 motorcyclists died from traffic accidents, especially male in every day. In addition, male who are still teenagers and not yet entitled to get a driving license have unsafe driving behavior in Arabia. So the conclusion of this presentation is based on the result of the correspondence analysis. Two groups are formed where one of them each gather at the point of dominance of female and the rest one of them each gather at the point of dominance of male. And the study finally concluded that of the 12 attributes, 7 attributes of the perception and attitudes collected were dominated by women or female. Meanwhile, the remaining 5 are dominated by male. So I think that's enough for me. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam. Okay, thank you for the presentation. I believe Ibu Ardania already here. So I will open the discussion session. If there is a question, you can write on the Zoom chat. Bu Ardania?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I'm really sorry about
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay. It's nice to see you. Okay, Bu Ardania. It is related with Bu Rida, the previous session about the motorcyclists. And this is also interesting because we know that a lot of motorcyclists violate the traffic rules. So what do you think your contribution of your research here to the situation that we face today?
Okay, my contribution is for make self-awareness for people, especially for young riders, motorcycle young riders, from from to know that self-awareness of to build a safety riding behavior in we know that from gender perception, gender it can contribute. Gender it gender can make can be a very important factor in make road accident, especially motorcycle riding.
And okay, I will wait for the other question. Anyone have question for this one? Okay,